Watch WRC Plus on all devices. WRC Plus, all live.
Welcome along to the first gravel rally of the season. Welcome to Guanajuato Rally, Mexico. Elfyn Evans and Scott Martin ready to go at Shakedown this morning. It's Thursday morning. The sun is in the sky. Blue skies here in Mexico as we await for them to get underway. I'm Bex Williams, and alongside me is Emer Penlan, ready to chat you through what we will see on the first time we see these cars on gravel this season. Good morning, Mr. Penlan.
Morning, everybody. Yeah, absolutely. First gravel rally of the year, and everybody can't wait to see what the performance of these cars is going to be like on the loose stuff. Elfyn, best season start he's ever had this year, but we haven't seen him on gravel yet. In this car.
But we will very shortly. The final checks then getting underway for the boys before they plough into what is, a good shakedown stage here. It's over 5 kilometres in length, so they get a really strong indication of how the car is set up, whether it is set up to their liking, ahead of 24 competitive stages across the weekend. Here we go then.
3, 2, 1. Oh, there's 7 left sharp of a crest just into 6 right plus, maybe in 100.
What a challenge it's going to be for them both this weekend to be first on the road here in Mexico. We have certainly seen it in the past with the drivers. It's never easy to be first on the road on a gravel event, but it has been won first on the road.
Yeah, remarkably, but yeah, probably the toughest sweeping challenge of the season here in Mexico. So dry, so loose, it's a big, big ask. He needs a good, solid morning tomorrow. Hopefully the afternoon might not be quite so bad, but if he can get a half-decent road position for Saturday, and he can keep it clean, he could be in a good position.
Good morning to everyone who is watching around the world, whatever the time difference may be, wherever you are. Some Nadgerry sections on this shakedown stage, same as we've seen before last year.
You can actually see the car struggling for grip, can't you? Wheel spinning, going nowhere. And, yeah, quite representative, some of the twisty sections later on in the rally.
Yeah, good indication of what they are going to face throughout the whole weekend. Now for Elfyn, as Emma mentioned, it's been a really strong start to the season. Third in Monty, and obviously the win in Sweden puts him first on the road here. He's on joint overall points with Thierry Neuville. But because of obviously the countback with results and the better results achieved by Elfyn, he is first on the road here this weekend. And here we go, Thierry Neuville, Niklas Gilsoul. What a fascinating history they have with this event. Whenever you talk about Mexico and Thierry, you always remember the radiator getting filled up with Corona beer to help them get back to service a number of years ago and get them onto the podium. What a fantastic story that was back then. But for Thierry this time around, he is gunning for the top step of the podium again. Obviously for Neuville, a win in Monte Carlo. Brilliant start to the season for him. In Sweden, it was 6th overall. He would dearly love to take the honours here. Never had a win in Mexico.
Struggled last year with a puncture on the first stage, didn't he? It was not going to happen for him. No luck here for Thierry. Back with Elfyn. Doing a lot of prep work for this rally, has Elfyn.
He's taken it very seriously. You can tell everyone what he's been doing as they go through the water splash.
Yeah, he's been visiting Loughborough University, where they've got a climate chamber. So he's been getting used to the lack of oxygen, sleeping there. 4 sessions I think he did there, and also training in temperature, very hot temperatures, getting fit. And he spoke to him yesterday. He said he went for a couple of runs when he first got here, and it definitely took the edge off the effects of the altitude. So
sleeping there, that's quite a commitment, isn't it? Okay, training there every day, but actually sleeping as well.
Opens long, 120. A flat right, keep out into 4 right, don't wide. Repeat, flat right, keep out into 4 right, don't wide, into flat left. Right number 17.
It will be a fascinating weekend to see who comes out on top here, as ever, as with every WRC event we seem to have now. It is so difficult to predict who is going to come away with the top honours.
Okay.
So listen, any chat? We'll be hearing from our drivers at the stage end. Hayley is there for us to have a chat with them. But that is Elfyn and Scott on run 1 of Shakedown here at Rally Guanajuato, Mexico. Welcome along to everyone. Make sure you're with us for the whole weekend here across WRC Plus or live. We'll be covering every single stage.
It's quite a section, isn't it? To the stop control. Still going. Elfyn still...
3:50.7 was the time through that stage for them.
Yeah, Elfyn still buzzing after his win in Sweden. Felt really comfortable there. If he can carry that momentum on to here we go, let's have a listen to him.
Elfyn, good morning. It's going to be a challenging rally for you, but nothing you can't take on. What's the game plan?
Just to give everything we've got.
Sorry?
Just to give everything we've got. There's not much more we can do. We know it's not going to be super easy, but we have to do the best we can.
Definitely isn't going to be super easy.
No, it's not going to be
I don't
easy
know if
at
it's
all.
going to be easy, let alone super easy, Mr. Evans. Back with Thierry now then, and Nico. Thierry in a really relaxed mode ahead of this event. A good chat with him on Monday. He's a fan of these roads out here. And you know, it's so different, isn't it? You come from Monty, where you've got tarmac, obviously ice, bits of snow. Sweden, which was a huge challenge for various reasons with regard to the weather. And now to the first loose surface event of the year. But of course, what hampers them in a way here is the altitude. It's something they're all used to now, but still, I think, even getting back in the car for Shakedown and feeling the effect of the altitude on the engine, the lack of power that they have, the reactions of the car all slowed. It is still a little bit of a shock.
3.2 slower than Elfyn there on his first run.
Yeah, 3:53.9 then for Neuville, as we switch in now to our 6-time World Rally champions, Ogier and Ingracia. Much success here in Mexico. The win last year and the win in 2018 and 2013 to 2015 was theirs as well. 5 wins on the board. He certainly knows how to achieve victory here.
Better than anybody.
Yeah.
His favourite rally, he said to me yesterday. This one? Yeah, he knows how to win, that's all right. He reckons that it's going to be Oit and Dani Sordo who are his major threats here.
Let's find out how Thierry is feeling this morning then with Hayley.
Good morning, Thierry. Thierry, first run of the Shakedown here. What can you tell us about the revised aero of the i20?
We will find out during the weekend, I guess. We have to discover. Hopefully it's gonna help, probably yes. But yeah, really surprised about the very low grip in the Shakedown. I struggled to keep the car on the road. I was really surprised.
Yeah, keep an eagle eye out for the revised aero. I'm sure many of you have been having a look at images that have been coming in of the car to try and spot it, but we are seeing some new bits and pieces, Mr. Penlan, on the Hyundai this weekend.
Yeah, there's 3 new bits basically. There's a winglet just in front of the mirrors on the sides, and then the mirrors themselves are more rounded as well, and then the spoiler on the back as well has got a vertical end plate, and it's all for obviously more downforce, but particularly for extra stability when sliding round corners.
Now, time on the board then for Sébastien Ogier, 3:52.6. So that's second quickest through. As we switch to a man who really did surprise a lot of people. Maybe we shouldn't be surprised by the pace he delivered in Sweden, his first podium in WRC. And it really was quite some run on the final stage of the event, the power stage. He dug deep, got himself onto the podium, got himself a good haul of points in the process. Brilliant performance by Rovanperä. What will we see in Mexico this time around? Let us know what you thought of Calle's season so far. We'd love to hear your thoughts on him. As we hear from Sébastien Ogier now.
Good morning, Seb. Back here at Rally Mexico, a rally that you're super familiar with, 5 times winner here. How does it feel? What's the strategy over the weekend?
To be honest, it feels strange at the moment. It feels strange to be here, strange to race, so I don't know what's going to be.
Why does it feel strange?
I guess you know what feels strange. You know, the whole world is at the moment in a critical situation, so it's a bit strange to race.
Thank you.
So comments from Sébastien Ogier, and I think we all understand what he is alluding to there. Back with Mr. Rovanperä, just through the water splash. What did you think of his performance in Sweden?
Well, we knew he was quick, but that, as you said, the
final
power
stage.
stage
I
was
mean,
the one. To take the 5 points there with such a commanding drive, he stepped up another level for me there. If he, you know, if he carries on this sort of trajectory, it's a very, very steep learning curve. Yeah, he's going to be winning very, very soon.
Time on the board for him then, it's second quickest through the first run of Shakedown 3:51.4 is the time for Rovanperä. Esa-Pekka Lappi and Jarno Firm now then. With M Sport, I chatted with EP yesterday. He says, you know, he feels now he's fully at one with the car. He said, you know, we've tried lots of different things. He said, you know, I feel as if, yeah, I'm fully adapted to the Fiesta now.
Yeah, I think Esa-Pekka himself is the first to admit that he needs a performance here. And hopefully he can pull it out the bag. Went off here last year, remember?
Yeah, he did. It was that kind of hanging off the edge of the stage last year, wasn't it, for Esa-Pekka? Right, let's hear from Matt Calle.
Good morning, Callie. First run of this shakedown. How did it go for you? How's the Yaris? How's the car feeling?
The car is feeling really good. We had a small test before this and everything looks good. It was like in the test, setup feels good, and I have a lot to learn this weekend, so it will be a difficult weekend, but it was fun.
It will be a difficult weekend for him, that is for sure, but I'm sure he won't make it look difficult out there.
But it's all about experience here, isn't it? They have to change their driving technique, the driving style, because of the lack of power. You need to carry as much speed through corners as you can, and the danger here is to overdrive, to try and keep too much speed into these corners. So he needs to be a bit wary of that, but I'm sure he's done all the homework and the prep work. So this is Lappi back on his favourite surface. He'll be looking forward to getting on the loose stuff, I'm sure.
Fourth for him in Monte Carlo, fifth in Sweden for EP. And it's third quickest through then on the first run of Shakedown this morning. We kick off the rally this evening with the street stages in the incredible city of Guanajuato itself. As we switch now to Oitanak, Martin Jove Oja. What did they... Oh, that was quite a hit there on the side, yeah. You could see, as we were on board with him, but that is Tanak off the road. But he looked as if he clipped something as well.
Something very solid. I mean, the steering wheel span out of his hands, didn't it?
Let's have a look at that again then.
Oh, is that post? Was it the post on the inside right there? I think that flap you can see in the foreground there, I think that's part of the new aero. Didn't help there, look, just on the inside. That was
yeah,
a tree.
It is a tree. Okay, let's hear from EP. We'll come back to Oit.
Good morning, Esa-Pekka. What's it like to be back here at Rally Mexico with all the dust and the heat?
Oh, it's for sure nice to be in the warm place after Monte and Sweden. It wasn't such a big shock as normally, you know, when you know that the power loss is quite big on the engine, but it felt quite okay, to be honest.
It's a 3:52.5 then for Esa-Pekka, which is third quickest. So we think it was that tree that he clipped on the inside of the corner.
Yeah, steering was wide open as well, wasn't it? I fancy he'll be straight back to service for a check over.
Yeah, very difficult to tell from this distance. We'll have a look when the car comes in.
The wheel looked pretty straight there, didn't it? He seems to be going okay now. But yeah, not the ideal start. It's not how you build confidence.
Do you know what, though? You'd struggle to shake this man's confidence, really, wouldn't you? That isn't going to shake his confidence. If Monty didn't shake his confidence, nothing will, huh? So Tanak then with that time loss, and that is because he clipped a tree on an inside corner. We'll get the full story from him now with Haley at the stage end. A little bit of a look around the car, maybe. It is a long approach to the stop control after the shakedown stage has completed. Back with M Sport now, and Teemu Sunen and Jarmo Lehtinen. Teemu was talked about getting a good result on the board. That's one thing he kept stressing in nearly every interview I was listening to yesterday. Right, Oit is in then. Let's have a chat with him.
Good morning, Oit. The first time we've seen you in the Hyundai on gravel. How's the car feeling?
It's feeling okay, but I had a spin, so obviously I guess not focused enough, but no, car feels okay.
Needs another coffee, maybe.
Not focused enough.
Two espressos, maybe, for Mr. Tanak on his return to service, but just a tiny mistake from him on the shakedown stage. Nothing to get dramatic about this morning. We've got 6 drivers who completed the first run here in Mexico.
Another driver hoping for a good result here, Teemu Sunen.
Yeah, it's been 8th in Monty, 8th in Sweden for him. But we want to see the speed. You know, we've seen glimpses of it. We've seen Teemu, when he's been on form, he's something really exciting to watch. We haven't seen that so far this year.
Fastest.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go. That's commentator's curse right there, isn't it? Thank you, Mr. Sunen, for proving me very wrong. Fastest through on the first run of shakedown. We want to see this kind of pace coming through on the competitive stages for him. Gus Greensmith and Elliot Edmondson now then. Now, we talked about Elvin's preparation, and, you know, a lot of the drivers have used, you know, the altitude training. Gus, as we all know, has been on a bit of a mission to get really as fit as he possibly can. He's lost about 12, 14 kilos in weight since the midpoint of last season, and he said already, you know, early part of the week, he could feel the difference of that. He said, it's so going to make a difference in the car for me, you know, stamina-wise as well. Let's hear from Teemu then, the fastest man through on shakedown this morning so far.
Good morning, Teemu, showing some great pace there. How are you feeling for this Rally Mexico?
Yeah, the feeling was pretty good. There is still places where I could improve and try to get better rhythm. But yeah, let's try to get good results now before maybe longer holidays.
Gus clearing the water splash. Just a confirmation of Sunenen's time, 3:50.1, fastest time through on the board for us so far. Welcome along then to Rally Mexico. It is Thursday morning here. Already the temperatures are starting to creep up. It's going to be a really hot weekend. 24 stages lined up, and the first of those stages begin this evening in the highly atmospheric city of Guanajuato, and we will be there for it on WRC Plus All Live, so make sure you join us to soak up all that incredible excitement and atmosphere and buzz, and I think you're going to be right in the heart of it, Mr. Penland, aren't you?
Cannot wait to get there. It's the best start of the season. No question.
Ceremonial start and then straight into the opening stage of the event. Nothing quite like it, and just tens of thousands of people come out to see it. Now, let's have a look at Gus's time. Right, let's have a replay of him going through the water splash then.
Great shot. Yeah, Gus had a brilliant test, he said to me yesterday before coming out here. The best test. He found a lot of extra speed, learned things about the car that he didn't know before. So he's got good road position. He's hoping for a top 6.
We welcome Dani Sordo and Carlos Del Barrio back to the championship. We saw them in action in Monte Carlo, let's be honest. Well, Dani Sordo, at least, he stepped in at the last minute to be safety note crew for Thierry Neuville. And of course, that was highly successful because Thierry won the rally. But Dani did say, I'm not keen to do that again. The early starts weren't great for me. Let's hear from Gus.
Good morning, Gus. How was that for you?
Not that good. I had a stall straight off the line, but yeah, it's okay. Car feels pretty decent, so let's go again.
Now, I was wondering why his time maybe wasn't quite on the money. It's at 3:59.8. But as he mentioned there, stall on the start line. Back to Dani Sordo now. He loves coming to Mexico. And we've seen him very much on the pace. You talk about road position. He's got a pretty ideal one, hasn't he? Across the years, the pace has been there. Fortunately, there's been some disappointments along the way which have been out of his hands.
Yeah, alternator last year, wasn't it? Nothing he could do about it. No battery. Couldn't get the car going. And out. But yeah, road position, he's got the best position. These stages just get faster and faster as they clean.
We talked at the start of the week with him about, his confidence levels over the year and how much, he's become a solid driver on every surface, because he was, in the early days, a tarmac specialist. He would be your man. You would absolutely guarantee points on a tarmac surface. However, every single surface now for Dani Sordo, he seems to have got better, even though he's not doing full seasons anymore. It's a partial season with Hyundai. He just seems to be getting better with age.
Yes, absolutely.
Like a fine wine is Mr. Sordo. Okay, into WRC2 territory now with Nikolai Gryazin. We'll hear from Dani Sordo in a few moments. This will be an interesting category this weekend, as it always is. Third in the WRC2 standings overall for Gryazin. As Dani pulls into stop control, so we'll hand over to Haley.
Good morning, Dani. Great to see you back here in Mexico. How are you feeling?
I didn't hear you very much, so sorry.
Oh, okay. Great to see you back here, Dani. How are you feeling coming into this Rally Mexico?
I feel good. The car is quite okay. We didn't drive very well. We take a little bit careful in some places, but okay, I'm happy with the car, so this is important.
He had the same time as Elfyn Evans through there, 3:50.7. So still the fastest man through on 1-1, remember, of Shakedown, is Teemu Suninen with a 3:50.1.
Yeah, great run from Teemu. Good confidence booster for him. Exactly what he needs. Into this rally.
Nikolai's confidence is certainly rebuilding. He's got to grips with the car at the first few events of the season. Sounding really confident ahead of the event.
Yeah, brilliant start podium in Monte to kick off the...
We talked about this, and we've talked about this on quite a few events. He said he put the work in last year, the amount of events he got under his belt, whether it was with the WRC, whether it was national rallies. They were just racking up on tarmac and gravel. Yeah. And also snow last year. But that is Gryazin through then with a time of 4:05.8. Ollie Christian Baby, Jonas Anderson now.
I think Ollie Christian's confidence will be pretty high coming into this one as well. Good result in Sweden, second. Fighting with Mads all the way, wasn't he, Mads Osberg, but Mads isn't here.
Well, he is here.
He's here in body.
He's here in body.
But not in the car.
Yeah. Doing a reporter's job this weekend.
Good morning, Nikolai. This will be your first time competing here. Are you feeling confident?
Let's get the helmet off.
Quite okay. Checking the car now, so no rush. Everything good. Trying to keep on island, so but everything's quite okay. Difficult stage, but it's really fun to drive. Feels like we are on a high altitude and lack of power, but it's more interesting to analyze, to play with the car.
Blowing some kisses there just as we were cutting away. Yeah, he's still young, mind, isn't he? He's only 22, so it's all about experience and gaining. First time here.
Plenty more cars to make their way through this shakedown stage. Stick with us here. We've got 10 drivers who've made their way through so far. We're with Ole Christian Baby right now. We have Pontus Tiedemann to follow, Benito Guerra, and getting our first sighting of Ken Block.
Can't wait.
Absolutely, we've seen the car up close and personal here in service, but we'll see it in action. Oh. There were some hand gestures that meant, well, that we possibly meant I'm not quite happy with that. Pontus Tiedemann, great to see him here, because when we spoke to him in Sweden, he wasn't sure what events he was going to be doing. With Top Sport and here at Rally Mexico.
Yeah, podium in Sweden, so off the back of that, I think he managed to get a deal together to come here. It's a great rally to come to. Here's Ole Christian. I wonder what the hand gesture is all about.
Good morning, Ole. Just like your teammate Nikolai, it'll be your first time actually competing here. What are you aiming for this week?
Well, I think it's going to be a difficult weekend, as you said, new experience. But yeah, we are here to do a good result and hopefully be on top of the podium.
Well, that's the aim. It's got to be, hasn't it? You know, you're not coming here just to pick up some points. You're coming here to win the category, and that is the target then of Ole Christian Baby.
That's a big ask, though. But, you know, he's got the pace. But
there's some strong rivals out there, like, you know, for instance, this man we're on board with now, Pontus Tiedemann. Watching what he can deliver out there. Yeah, we're looking at the stage now. You know, you can see the sky, the sun is out, it's dry, it's dusty, it's hot. However, there is some rain forecast for the weekend.
Remarkable, isn't it? Yeah, I think thunderstorms more than rain, sort of mid-late afternoon type storms that come in after the heat of the day. But that could make it interesting, couldn't it?
Yeah, certainly could.
Especially on some of the super special tarmac gravel tyres.
When it rains here, it does dry quite quickly because it is incredibly hot during the day. But we did see a few years ago where it rained almost every day at some point. A lot of people leaving Mexico with not a lot of tan on their body because we'd had so much rain. Benito Guerra now then, a man who certainly knows how to win his class here in Mexico. He's had great success within WRC2 and even looking as far back as the production championship. We've seen him here in a World Rally car as well, in a Fiesta and in a Citroen. He was 6th overall in the Fiesta, 8th in the Citroen. Many, many years we've seen Benito Guerra competing here. Let's hear from Pontus then, find out how that run went for him.
Pontus, 2-times winner here in WRC2. What is it going to take to get back on the top of that podium?
Long rally, need to be clever and tire strategy, I think. So it's a very long rally, but I really enjoy it. Very nice road, and been here before, but the road is more nice now than before. So looking forward.
Back with Benito.
Benito in the WRC3 class. An incredible competitor, and you know, he has been coming here for years. We've seen him within various championships, support championships over the years. Hopefully it's going to be a good program for him this year. We saw him numerous times last year.
Yeah, and always a smile with Benito. He's the most positive Mexican on the planet, I think.
Yeah, he definitely has got a fantastic demeanor about him. Let's have a look at the time he's going to set then through this first run of shakedown. Ole Christian Baby was a 4:07.7. Gryazin was a 4:05.8. Tiedemann 4:04.2 and Gera 4:07.9. Ken Block and Alex Gelsomino. The COSI World Tour continues into 2020. We saw it last year. Good selection of events. I bumped into Ken Block in Donegal last year, and to see this car there was something special indeed. Brilliant to see him here at Rally Mexico. Of course, Gymkhana 10 was filmed around Guanajuato. He loves coming here to Mexico. He's got a lot of fans here that will be out watching him this weekend in such an iconic car as well.
Look at it. Brilliant.
It's a beast. Okay, let's hear from Benny.
Good morning, Benito. Great to see you. You're the most experienced driver here. What is your aim for this weekend?
Yeah, last year it was a fantastic rally for me. We won the WRC2. Now our class is called WRC3, and we are aiming to have a very good weekend. We need to find the perfect setup for the car this weekend, that it's going to be very hot for us inside the car. But the aim is to win again.
Of course the aim is to win again, and he's going to be looking across the category itself to be the fastest driver overall within the category.
I love that car. It splits opinion. Some people don't like it, but I think the colours and the...
Oh, we had a good look up close earlier on, and we'll be talking about it throughout the weekend.
It looks fast, man.
It'd be interesting to see how the feeling was out there, you know, bringing this car to Mexico and all the effects that the altitude will have upon it, how the feeling is for Ken when he gets to the end of this stage, what the objective is. He's competing in the national class of this event here in Mexico. But let us know your thoughts on the Cosworth, the full Cosworth. I mean, it does, as you say, it does split opinion, but I'm definitely a for, not against.
Absolutely.
We're loving it.
Not the quickest. Lost a bit of time in there, did Ken?
It looked as if he slowed a bit coming through that water splash as well, after the water splash.
Yeah. That's a good looking car. 2007 he was here first, so you know he's...
Yeah, I remember him back in the day in the production class, and he was teammates with Travis Pastrana back then.
Cruising to the stop control.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since he's been competing here, and we've seen him obviously in WRC cars across various events. He's going to be competing in New Zealand later this year, but that is going to be in an R5 car. But let's just enjoy the Escort Cosworth then as it approaches the stop control.
Broken his mirror.
Good morning, Ken. Welcome back to WRC. What makes WRC so special? And tell us, from the spectators, what have you got in store for us this weekend?
Well, WRC is amazing. Some of the best rallies in the entire world. And I came back to Mexico because just really enjoy the atmosphere here and the wild west of these stages, and it's great. But man, we're struggling with this 90s car that does not like the altitude. It clutch kicking several times out of some of the tight corners, but team's doing what it can, but it's a 90s engine, so doing the best we can.
Brilliant, thank you.
Certainly an icon of the 90s, that car. Okay, let's take a look then at the results from the first run of Shakedown here in Mexico. It's Sunanen who was quickest through, with Evans and Sordo on a joint time on the first run. Then it's Rov and Pera, Lappi, Ogier, Neuville and Greensmith down to the top 8 through the Shakedown stage. Tanak and Tiedemann rounding out that top 10. Let's head then into the service park here in Mexico and over to Abby.
And Emir Penland, thank you very much. So, Julian Porter, we've had the first run of Shakedown. We're trying to gather some info, but at the moment, let's just go with the fact that Teemu Sunanen was quickest there, and we want to give some M Sports some real love this weekend, especially Teemu.
Well, that's it. But what he did also is he took advantage of his road position, and there's been times where Teemu's probably not done that, and Rich and Malcolm have told him, and he's had a disappointing start to the season in his eyes, but he's come here refreshed, taking advantage of road position, and that'll make him, even though it's only shakedown, that'll just make him feel quite good, you know what I mean? But I think Evans, before that, would be very impressed and pleased with himself, because he was second quickest.
Yeah, and only 0.6
so,
behind.
you know, Elvin's had a good run first on the road, but Teemu, yeah, that would have just settled him down a little bit.
Exactly, because when you think about what happened in Sweden, his incident in Shakedown, it sets a tone for the weekend, doesn't it, Shakedown?
It does set a tone for the weekend. You know, they have to do a minimum of 3 runs, so he'll do another 2 minimum, and then he might come back out and do some more and just get the confidence going.
Okay, well, this weekend we've also got the pleasure of Seb Marshall's company. Seb, we didn't know that we were going to have you in this feature, so I haven't bought my heels to give me an extra couple of inches. You experienced this rally last year, and particularly the highs and lows that it offers.
Yeah, it's an incredibly challenging event. Like you said, it was my actually first time doing the rally last year, and went from hero to zero, really leading the rally after a stage win to then getting a puncture and dropping back to eventually 5th. But yeah, it's something very different with the altitude and the high temperatures after the start of the season. So yeah, it's going to be a fascinating weekend.
Well, Seb, thanks for coming this weekend. We've put you to work already. We were up in the mountains with you yesterday. We were hearing from you throughout the course of Rally Mexico. But we've come into round 3, and this is how it looks in championship standings. It's so tight at the top, so tight that they're both on exactly the same points. 42 apiece for Elfyn Evans and Thierry Neuville. Sebastian Ogier in 3rd, Kalle Rovanperä, virtue of his podium last time out, is in 4th, and Esa-Pekka Lappi in 5th. Oyt Tänak here in 6th, which means he's got a good road position. He didn't have the shakedown that he'd want, but confidence-wise, we don't think that will affect him, do we, for Oyt Tänak?
No, I mean, it's just a small incident on a tight hairpin or a tight right-hander, but yeah, it's not what you need. But Oyt had a problem in shakedown here last year. He had a problem like today, but it doesn't seem to affect him too much.
Well, we have got 325 kilometres of competitive action for you across the weekend. We've got 24 stages, we've got 10 stages tomorrow, and it all kicks off this evening. An opening ceremony that will be so colourful, so vibrant, and we have the super special. We have so many super specials, 9 of them this weekend. You can be glued to the screen. We will be local times here, of course, but join the conversation using that hashtag WRC Live. Quick word then, Jules, what can we look forward to?
Lots of drama. Mexico always gives us a story. Drivers kind of overdriving to compensate for the lack of power because of the altitude. It should be an interesting, I can't wait for it.
We can't wait for it. We can't wait to hear from Seb Marshall as well. Make sure you join us on WRC Plus. See you very soon.
Watch WRC Plus on all devices. WRC Plus, all live.